Yo, YouTube, what's up with your boy, Sports and Fitness Rants? I'm back, guys. Click that like button. Subscribe to my channel. What's up, y'all? Welcome back, guys. Welcome back, man. Got another great video for you guys today, as usual, man. You guys know the deal on this channel. So about setting the record straight, stopping the lies, stopping the narratives, stopping them from rewriting history, guys. And in this video, I got to talk about something I saw this morning, man, that it's really sad, and it set me off. It set me off this morning, man. It's, like I said, it's really, really sad what we have going on ESPN, guys. Now, if you don't know, a couple of days ago, I believe this was on Friday. I could be wrong, but I believe this was on last Friday. This guy, Drewski, I have no idea who this guy is, guys, so forgive me. I don't know if that's how you pronounce his name. Drewski is what I'm assuming how you pronounce it. But anyway, this guy, Drewski, was on ESPN First Take, right? Like I said, I believe it was on Friday. And he was there, and they were talking about NFL football. And he was there to promote, whatever he was there to promote. I guess football, he's a Cleveland Browns fan, and I guess he's a Shedeur Sanders fan. But this fool was on there, and you had this clown, McNutt, talking about, or recognizing the jersey that he was wearing. This guy, Drewski, was wearing a Barry Sanders jersey, right? A Barry Sanders jersey. And this Monica McNutt lady, I think that's her name, she didn't realize that was Barry Sanders. This is really disturbing, guys. She did not know Barry Sanders, or that was a Barry Sanders jersey. She thought that was a Shedeur Sanders jersey. She thought that he was representing Shedeur Sanders, and she tried to use him wearing that Sanders jersey as a segue into talking about Shedeur Sanders. And it's embarrassing that she did not realize it was Barry Sanders' jersey, guys. We're going to talk about it briefly in this video because ESPN's an absolute joke, man. It's an embarrassment that they have these women on here talking about football and talking about sports. They have no clue about these sports. They have a lot of guys on ESPN talking about sports. They have no clue what they're talking about, guys. We're going to talk about this video, man. That was embarrassing. That was really bad. And I want to thank you guys, everyone across the world, everyone across the states has been supporting my channel, man. Shout out to everybody in the membership. You guys know I am truly humbled, man, but all support. It really means a lot, guys. And you guys know what to do. Turn the volume all the way up. Hit that play button. Remember, these videos are for educational purposes. And let's roll. So, yes, guys, like I said, it's going to be a brief video, man. I just wanted to touch on this, this video that I saw, man. And like I said, this is really disturbing. It's sad for ESPN. And this is the reality, guys, of how sports is covered now. How many times do I tell you guys on the channel that a lot of these people have no clue what they're talking about because they did not watch this stuff growing up, guys. They didn't watch it. They didn't play it. There's something to be said for those of us that grew up watching and playing these sports, guys. There's got to be something said for this. Because once again, the things that I talked to you guys about, what I tried to give you, the information, is factual perspective. That's what I'm giving you. Factual perspective. So what I mean by that is I'm giving you the facts of the perspective and how it happened back when it happened. So as a kid growing up in the 80s, watching basketball, watching football, watching baseball, I watched this stuff, guys, because we didn't have computers or cell phones. We didn't have laptops and iPads, and we didn't have internet at the touch of a button. We didn't have all these websites and pages you can go to like StatMuse or Basketball Reference. We didn't have this stuff. All we had was ESPN. All we had was the TV. So you had to actually watch the games. That's the only way that you could be informed, and then you would be able to talk about sports at school. So, for example, when I was in high school and the Chicago Bulls were dominating, if you were going to talk about the Chicago Bulls, you were going to talk about Michael Jordan, then you had to watch the games. That's the only way you were going to be able to talk about this stuff and not sound like a fool, not look like a complete idiot like we see now on ESPN. These people speak and they sound stupid. Just stupid. There's no other way to say it, man. Just dumb. And I'm tired of them having these people cover sports that you can tell they clearly don't know nothing about. So you'll have this guy like Swagoo. You have a professional football player, Shannon Sharp, talking about basketball. These guys don't know basketball. And I'm not saying because they didn't play it professionally, they shouldn't be talking it. But you can tell they didn't watch basketball. You just did it, man. And listen, these guys played professional sports. For the case of Shannon Sharp, played professional football. He was an excellent player, Hall of Famer, Shannon Sharp. I've given him props several times for his football career. But I can tell this man wasn't watching basketball in the 90s. How was he spending his time? Wasn't watching the NBA. He's busy watching game film. He's busy trying to be a professional football player. I get that. But these guys are now talking about, an era of a sport or a sport in particular that they don't even know about. There's no perspective, and they don't know the history of this sport. Shannon Sharpe didn't do no homework on this stuff. This guy like Swagoo, he don't do no homework on the 90s era of NBA. He just talks a lot of nonsense. So when you hear them speak, you can sit and say, oh, this guy didn't watch it. I can tell he wasn't there back then doing this stuff because your takes are way off. Way off. So I know I've rambled on, guys. So like I said, in this clip that I saw, it was ESPN First Take. This guy, Drewski, came on there as a special guest. Like I said, don't know this guy yet. Think he's like maybe like some entrepreneur or some kind of influencer maybe. I don't know, guys. I'm not sure, man. You guys could fill me in the comments. All right? But this guy doesn't know much about basketball either. I just saw this guy, Drewski, on another clip from some other place. And he was supposed to be naming the top 3 teams in the Western Conference coming into next season. This man said the OKC Thunder and then asked if the Milwaukee Bucks were in the Western Conference. I mean, these are the kinds of things. These are the people that have these platforms now. I mean, these guys are idiots. These guys don't play sports, and they don't know the sports, man. They just don't know it. So anyway, this guy Drewski came on there, and he's wearing a Barry Sanders jersey. I think we all know who Barry Sanders is. I think 99% of people who watch sports, people who play sports, football particularly, you know the NFL, you know who the hell Barry Sanders is, man. My goodness. So he's wearing the Barry Sanders jersey, and he has it on backwards, I guess, right? With the name Sanders in the front. Okay? So Stephen A. Smith is sitting next to him, and you have this fool, this idiot, Monica McNutt. I'm assuming, I think that's her name, Monica McNutt. She's there. Once again, I don't know why she's talking football. She doesn't have a freaking clue about football. But she's there, and once again, whatever. And she tries to use a segue, right? She tries to, introduce this guy, Drewski, and she tries to segue the Barry Sanders, the Sanders name, into Shedeur Sanders. So she says, oh, I see you out here representing, Shedeur Sanders, right? It's a Sanders, right? And she tried to correlate and make it a reference that he was wearing a Shedeur Sanders jersey in support of Shedeur Sanders, right? And then this guy, Drewski, was like, oh, hold on. This is the great Barry Sanders. This is the Barry Sanders. Barry Sanders, not Shedeur Sanders. And Stephen A. Smith had to correct her. And then she was like, oh, excuse me, Barry Sanders. She's like, but it's still a Sanders, so bear with me here. This is what she's saying, guys. Bear with me as I'm trying to make this bridge between the Sanders name, this man wearing a Barry Sanders jersey, and her not even understanding or recognizing that it was a Barry Sanders jersey. And if she did a terrible... I don't even know what she was doing in this clip that I saw. So this speaks to a bigger problem on ESPN. You have people like Monica McNutt and some of these other clowns out here talking sports that don't know what the hell they're talking about. You have people covering a sport that they don't know about. I know way more about football than Monica McNutt will ever know, guys. Ever know. I don't give a damn what she did professionally. I don't give a damn what degrees that she has, what schools that she went to. I don't give a damn about none of this stuff because that's not going to substitute actually knowing the sport, watching this stuff, knowing the history of it. They just don't know. She's a freaking idiot, man. Stop having these clowns, these women talk about sports. I don't want to make this a woman thing and, people, oh, you're sexist and people trying to, judge me because I'm making comments on this stuff. I don't want to hear about women covering football. Why are women talking football? Do women play football? Women don't play football. What the hell they know about football, man? They ain't playing football. How many girls grew up playing football? How many girls are playing football in high school? Not many. Not many, guys. But it's sad that they actually allow some girls to actually play football, right? They might be the kicker or something like that. But let's be real. Women don't play football, man. It's a man's sport. There's grown man stuff happening there. Ain't nothing wrong with that, man. Stop having these clown women cover football, don't know a damn thing about football. And if you're going to have a woman cover football, then you damn sure better challenge her and you better test her out. Test her knowledge. What's the standard for getting a job at ESPN? Huh? What's the criteria for getting a platform on ESPN? Getting your own show? Being a guest somewhere? Bring me on ESPN, man. Monica McNutt, she don't even know who Barry Sanders is. Barry Sanders, guys, in my estimation, by most people's estimation, a lot of people think Barry Sanders is the greatest running back of all time. Now, you guys know that I think that Jim Brown is the greatest running back of all time. But if you told me that Barry Sanders is the greatest running back of all time, in your opinion, I got no problem with that, man. I don't think anyone's going to argue with this kind of stuff, what Barry Sanders was able to do. But for me, it's Jim Brown. Some people think it's Walter Payton. Some people think it's Emmitt Smith. Right? There are different names that we can throw out there as far as the great runners in NBA and NFL history, right, guys? But Barry Sanders is arguably the greatest running back of all time. And to me, when you talk about the moves that Barry Sanders had on the football field, this is what he's known for. No one can move like Barry Sanders on the football field. I haven't seen anybody since who could do the things he can do. Stop, go backwards, and go full speed again, left to right. I mean, it didn't even make a difference what this dude could do, the low center of gravity of Barry Sanders, right? What he did, and the style and the grace, the class, right? The honor, the respect that Barry Sanders earned because he played the game with all those attributes and all those qualities that I just mentioned. Every football fan knows who Barry Sanders is, guys. Everyone does. There's no adult out here that claims to know football or watch football. You don't know who the hell Barry Sanders is? So she didn't realize who Barry Sanders was, but you're on ESPN and you have this platform on ESPN. And someone like Monica McNutt, a lot of these women that you see on ESPN, man, they really have like a nasty way about them. They think that they're, above everyone. That's how they come across to me, a lot of these women that I see out here, especially someone like Monica McNutt, some of the other clowns out here. They really come across as arrogant, as if they're better than everyone, that, they really earn the spot that they're at. They don't earn this stuff. This woman don't know a damn thing. She earned and deserved to be talking about NFL football. No, she does not. So ESPN, do us all a favor. And you need to get rid of a lot of these people. I went to the comment section of this clip. And my goodness, man, I mean, there was some nasty things said, and a lot of it went racial. A lot of the things people were saying was about her being black and being hired because she's black. And I agree with a lot of this stuff, right? Some of these people being hired, not because they're qualified to do the job, just because they have to fit a certain quota with some of this stuff. I get all of that. But I have more of a problem with women talking football than I do necessarily a black woman talking football or people getting hired because of the color of their skin and stuff like that. But I do understand this. ESPN is trying to become woke, quote unquote woke, and get some of these people in here. But your main job, the main function of ESPN, I always thought, was sports. So once again, let's not make sports a divisive platform or a divisive thing. When we talk about sports, you should be having people that are qualified to be talking about these sports. I don't give a damn they didn't play the sport professionally. That's not what it's about, right? Because all these guys are not going to be ex-professional athletes, but they should at least know the sport. They should at least have some historical perspective and knowledge on that sport. You just bring these people on here to talk, and they just run their mouth. They're not saying nothing. Monica McNutt, she ain't saying nothing. You don't even know who the Barry Sanders is? You make such a brain fart like that, a blunder on ESPN, the worldwide leader in sports. You're hiring all these clowns out here. There are a lot of people on ESPN that should not have jobs on ESPN. Back in the 90s, the guys who covered the sports, you could tell that they knew what they were talking about. Like I said, they educated us. You're not being educated listening to Monica McNutt. You're not being educated listening to Molly Karam. And there's no knock on women. No knock on women at all. But you should be talking about the sport that you know. Maybe whatever sport you played growing up. You should know these sports. But to be talking about the NFL, football, and you don't know who Barry Sanders is, you make a blunder by thinking that he's wearing a Shedeur Sanders jersey. And like I said, this guy Drewski, he's not even an athlete like that or someone that you would think that knows sports like that. Even he knows who Barry Sanders is. Everyone knows who Barry Sanders is, or we thought. You would think that everyone at ESPN would know who Barry Sanders is. Like I said, there should be some kind of test or some kind of requirements as far as your historical knowledge on these sports if you're going to be talking about them. Right? I don't claim to be a hockey expert. I don't claim to be a soccer expert. So do I make a bunch of videos on soccer or hockey or talking about a sport that I'm not well-versed on, or making it seem like I am well-versed on these sports and I'm giving you guys some kind of profound professional opinion on this stuff? No. I give you guys the videos and the information, the knowledge that I have, what I do know, right? What I did learn, the stuff that I did look into, what I remember watching growing up. That's what I'm giving you guys here. Factual perspective. Once again, you guys understand this stuff. Monica McNutt, she can't give you any factual perspective because she don't know what she's talking about. She don't know NFL football. Just because, once again, man, some of these people out here, I don't want to get too crazy with this, man. It's really upsetting to me that she had no clue who Barry Sanders was. You make such a blunder like that. Barry Sanders on ESPN. Like I said, and you could tell Stephen A. Smith was embarrassed. I'm embarrassed. She should be embarrassed. ESPN should be embarrassed. And like I said, she tried to play it off like, oh, yeah, I was making a segue and, this and that, and it was a Sanders name. Like, stop. Just stop it right now. Embarrassing. Monica McNutt. Once again, they hire these people on here for what, guys? Because they need a quota of women? What are we doing here? We should be hiring people that are really qualified and deserving. I'm more deserving of talking about NFL football on ESPN than Monica McNutt will ever be, guys. Ever be. That's the facts, guys. You guys know the deal, man. I'll catch you guys on the next one.